I want to congratulate you, Mr. Chairman, on taking this role. Thank you for that. And I want to thank the Vice Chairman for your leadership as chairman of this committee. I hope that we'll continue along with the standard that you set for all of us in terms of politics. Congressman Ratcliffe, it's good to see you again. Thank you for your visit to the office. I know you're a student of our history and a student of this committee. You know that this committee came out of a series of reforms that Congress put together because to deal with a really dark chapter in American history. There was some Senator King from Maine talked about bad intelligence during Vietnam. There were instances of the CIA engaging in assassination plots abroad. It's hard to imagine today that that's even true. That provoked bipartisan outrage, and the reason this committee exists in part is not just to make the policy that you've been talking about and others this morning, but also to provide oversight on behalf of the American people and our colleagues who, as Senator Langford were just saying, don't have access to the intelligence that the people on this committee have. I would just ask you to talk a little bit about your views on what the purpose of that congressional oversight is, and what, if you are confirmed to this position, what your responsibility to this committee will be.
Thank you, Senator Bennet. I enjoyed the chance to visit with you and talk about a number of issues. As you know from my background, I came from Congress. I was on an oversight committee, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. And so I think it gives me a unique perspective. I brought that over as DNI, and if confirmed as CIA Director, I have the perspective of both, the executive branch and the legislative branch. And I will confess that one of the things I was disappointed in was the fact that despite being on a congressional oversight committee over the intelligence communities, there was so much intelligence that I learned for the first time as DNI that I knew that no member of Congress was aware of. And I think that sort of speaks to my approach and understanding that I take seriously the obligation that I will have, as if confirmed as CIA Director, to keep this committee fully and currently informed on intelligence issues. It's not that this committee or any intelligence committee or any oversight committee in Congress needs to know everything, but you should at least know the topics exist.
So let's talk about that a little bit, Congressman. I mean, the president gets his presidential daily brief every day. There's a very high standard for veracity for what's in that, because he has to obviously make the most significant decisions that any human has to make about deploying our defense assets or the other things that a president does. We don't have anything like that in Congress, and a lot of the time, it seems like we're often, as you said, finding ourselves fishing around in headlines and in the sort of less well organized intelligence materials that were provided with no assurance that it's a complete picture of anything. So I wonder, what your conclusion about that is, and how what the obligation of the CIA or any intelligence agency is with your leadership to be able to provide a fuller picture, the picture that you're talking about, that a member of Congress who's on these committees should actually know rather than be guessing about.
Well, my perspective is that you've highlighted all of the things that sort of reveal that our national security posture is impacted in a negative way when we're not communicating well between the branches of government, and particularly on sensitive national security matters. So I think a better informed Congress will allow for better national security decisions and keep the American people safe. So I'm open to a continuing dialogue about how I won't stand on traditions. This is traditionally what the CIA does or shares. I am open to, at the end of the day, we talk about the core mission of the CIA. It's to provide a decisive strategic advantage to you and to the president as policymakers. And so I don't view it as just informing the president. I view it as integral that I be informing you to provide that same strategic, decisive advantage.
I'm out of time. I appreciate very much the fulsomeness of your answer. I just want to observe that it's really easy for politicians to accuse the intelligence agencies of politicization. And actually, it's important that, you know, we do that when it's an appropriate thing to do. But this is the place where that oversight is supposed to be provided. These are the people that are supposed to fix that problem. And it can only be done if we have people with integrity that are working at the heads of these agencies that can help us fix the problems, not just complain about it. And I hope we'll be able to work together to do that. Thank you, Mr. Ratcliffe.
I look forward to it.
Senator Rounds.